the service already. I've had a lot of feelings and emotions that have come about me, as I started watching the young ladies dance, Kalia and Amanda and Ash. That was awesome, and there's so much in it, I was going to join them, but I can't do that, And my dear brother, Mickey, thank you so very much for sharing your heart, but putting a real face on the cross, put a real face on the suffering. A lot of times when things happen to us, we didn't want that to happen, but Jesus, he chose to suffer. He chose to take that infirmity on for us. And thank you for making that very, very clear. It brought the cross home for me. And Noble, I didn't know you had all that in you. Where's Noble? I don't know where. I didn't know we had another preacher in the house like that, Come on, West Africa. Yeah. We did that at my church too, took that money down. And the preacher be right here like this. Yeah. Okay, a little more. We'd have that. What a great day so far. We've been talking and sitting around this thing of faith, and we've learned that faith is not just a feeling of something, like love as well. Not just a feeling. Although when we do the things of faith, we'll feel faithful, and if we do the acts of love, we'll feel love. Who doesn't feel warm and fuzzy? Somebody's kind and nice to you and don't hold things against you and lets you off the hook and gives you a lot of grace. I mean, we love that. And but I want to continue in kind of that same theme around faith this morning. There's a lot going on. For us, for myself and my wife, we have many new churches. We have churches to plant. We have one coming up in December. We have a conference that's taking place. Those are always, they're fun. I love it. I'm excited for it. But man, that mess is stressed out. It's stressful. It's fairly stressful to make sure that everything is on point. And it's hard to do that 8,000 miles away from where it's happening. I'm so thankful for Mark and Micah Carbonell who are there on the ground in Dubai to make sure that we get everything done in an excellent manner. I got family stuff going on. And then my children, all my children are coming here for the holidays. Yeah, I'm gonna see my babies and their babies. They all gonna come to the house. It's gonna be pretty awesome. And G will tell you, I love the holidays, boy. I love them. I just want to cook and buy stuff and just love everybody. And them two little girls that are coming, they got, big thing. They each got one, and I'm in trouble. I already know. But I'm so looking forward to it. But with everything going on, I'm going, okay, Lord, I don't know what to do with all this. It's a lot. And then me and G, a couple days ago, got sick. We weren't feeling well. I was kind of down. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, Lord, come on. Brother need a break. Help me out a little bit. And I saw some doubt creep in. I saw some, okay, can I pull this off? Can I make this happen? Things were tense. I had a little bump with G. She was acting up, not me. I'm like, Lord, I'm not feeling all that confident right now. I was feeling a few things. And then as I do, I go back to my favorite passage in Scripture, Ephesians 3:20. And it set me straight. And I wanted to share with you because I know there's some of you today that feel somewhat like I do. Lord, can I get it done? Am I enough? Can I get this done? I'm challenged, Lord, to the brink of faith. And unfortunately, sometimes when people get challenged in their faith in that way, they think crazy things. They think God don't love them. They think the issue is the church. It's this church I go to is the problem. You know, we start thinking crazy, don't we? Yeah. That it's other people and other this and everything. And we have forgot who's running the show. Our loving God. So I want to share this passage with you, and perhaps someone, it will encourage you and lift your spirits. And you will not leave here today going, I wonder if he can. But that you would understand, and the title of my lesson is, He is able. He is able. I want you to get that set in your heart right now. He is able. We're going to talk about why is he able? Why would he want to be able? But he is able. Turn over with me to Ephesians 3. And I go here all the time. It's a go-to for me, a rock foundation when I doubt, when my trust lowers, not just in God, but in man. Verse 20, now to him who is able to do immeasurably more. Whew, these words get right off the bat, ain't it? Anybody feel like to him? Right away to him. The glory from the beginning of this passage and at the end all points to him. He says, now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. To him be glory in the church and in Christ Jesus throughout all generations, forever and ever. And the church said, amen. Point number one, God is able. God is flat able. Now, God is able to do what he wants to do, what he would have his will do. The problem, the challenge is sometimes he doesn't do what we want him to do, so we now say he's not able. Yet he created the world with just breaths. Let there be light. He created all the creatures. There's no man on earth has still figured out how to make life, how to stop death from happening. God knows, for he can give life, take it away, and as he did with Jesus, give it back again. God is able. What right do we have to doubt God? Were we there when he hung the moon? Were we there when he decided the picturesque beauty of the stars in the skies? We were around when he was thinking about that? You know, nothing was accidental. God said, yeah, I like this. This is good. Poof, woof. This is very good. Was any of us there and able to have thought conversations with him? We have trivialized the word God is sovereign. We like to say that. But if God is sovereign, why do we doubt at different times in our lives? See, the issue is not that God is not able. It's that sometimes he doesn't do what you want him to do. And you get mad, and you get your little feelings hurt. Then you start lying on him, saying you promised me this, and he ain't promised you that. The promises of God are absolute, and all of them will happen. But when we start putting our humanistic, emotional thoughts on God, things that which he never even placed in our heart, that was us, and it doesn't happen, now we're faithless. Oh, God don't love me. Oh, perhaps God is just like all these other kind of gods or whatever. No power in him. I don't know if I should continue following him. Let me say something. God is able. He created the world and everything in it. He created every cell in your body. Every breath you take has been numbered. Every hair on your body is numbered. Every step has been ordained. Everything that's going to happen in your life is there. And your salvation has been put there by giving up his son Jesus so that you can finish eternity with him. God is able. One of the things we got to do this morning is lose doubt in God. You got to lose it. That's got to be one of those things. It's like, you know, when G and I, we get to a fight and everything like that, like everybody else, and we don't curse and holler and do all those kind of things, you know, and we don't. So some of you marrieds, if you're not doing that, cut that out. I don't care how mad you get. Talk to your spouse with respect. That's a man of God, a woman of God, and you talk to him with respect. Or be quiet. But, you know, there's words, there's certain things we don't say, like, you know, I hate you, or divorce, or there's certain things we don't even go near. That's how we got to get about this doubt in God. We can't even go there. We cannot even go there. Stop it. If you believe the word of God, then you know there's no reason to doubt God. If you believe in his love for us, that he gave up his only son and described in the suffering as Mickey told us, then you cannot have doubt. Some of us walking around doubting God, doubting the church, doubting each other that are Christians. That's why your faith is low. That's why your faith is low. See, here's the problem, point two. You don't trust him. God is able, and you don't trust him. God is able, and you don't trust him. You know, in Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. All of your heart, not some of it, not part of it. You can have rooms in your heart that say, don't enter. You got to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. We ain't that smart. Not in the things of God. That's part of the problem. People think they can actually negotiate with God. How can you negotiate with God? You don't get to talk to God. You just do what he say. And if he say it, you believe it, period. Well, I don't know how that could be. It don't matter. God said it, so it is. Just like when he spoke the earth in existence. God said it, so it is. When you can get to that place where, you know what, I don't understand everything, that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to trust in God with my whole heart. My whole heart, period. It's the only thing you can trust in. God is not a liar. God does not lie. And everyone in here knows it deep down in their heart that God does not lie. That's right, people lie. The world lies, fakes you out, deceives you. Yeah, go after this, go after that, you'll be happy. How did that work out for you? Get him, get her, you'll be happy. How did that work out for you? On and on and on. How does that work out? All these things that are to be great for our lives and these accolades that we go after, how does that work out for you? No, the only thing that can be trusted, only one that can be trusted is God. And in all your ways, submit to him. And he will make your paths straight. You want to figure out your life? Stop trusting in yourself and start trusting in God. If it's still unclear, your walk, that's the sure sign you're not trusting God. Because his word, it's a blueprint of this thing called life. And no one can be lost using it. There's no such thing. You know, between 2016 and I went to Chicago. And I think it was 2020, maybe late 2019. Yeah. Or so we left Chicago, but in that period, I had to do I think I did 9 funerals. I did 9 funerals. And 6 of those were my immediate family, including both my father and mother. And I remember just thinking about, you know what? You know, when you moved me to Chicago so that I could save my family, restore those that had been baptized but had walked away, and they're all dying. And only one of them died a Christian, my mother. For a minute, I've been like, God, I don't know about you, man. I don't know about you. I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know. And there was a dark period that begun to take place. And I reacted very negatively and sinfully because I had lost trust in God. Things were not going the way I wanted. But God never promised me the salvation of all those people. That issue could not be promised to me. That's between him and them. But yet, in my mind, I don't trust you no more. And that makes me pull back from people. Makes me pull back my heart. Makes me pull back my love. And it was a dark time. But I had to look at the fact that God has given them a chance. He sent his son to die for them too. And my mom was a disciple. Job said, shall a man not take the good and the bad from the Lord? And then I thought to myself, what right do I have not to trust God? There should just be more gratitude for the experience of the relationships I've had with those people. But what right do I have not to trust him? Me and my wretched, sinful ways, even the way I responded. If you think about it, it's a very good question to ask ourselves, what right do we have to not trust God? You know, to walk as a disciple but not trust God is to walk in vain. I think that's the biggest thing. For our church here in New York, we have to be careful that what we display is not a double-mindedness when it comes to God and the things of God. That's the secular community. We have to be careful that our minds or that our conduct and our behavior doesn't say, you know, maybe God can do it. I really appreciate what Noble said. My plan A, that's it. There is no B. There is no B. There's nothing else. If you tell the truth, some of you have a B in your mind, a possibility. What possibility could be remotely better than being with God? At best, is momentary pleasure. Maybe a momentary contentment, but momentary, temporary. The only place eternity is found is with our God. So I don't have plan B. I'm not even trying to think up a plan B. I'm not even working on one. There's just A. It's like the alphabet lost all its letters. It's just A. That's A. It's just A. Every word is spelled A. A. That's all it is. Just A. There ain't no B. There's a be quiet, but there ain't no B. But I learned that God is not the area of my troubles. But sometimes he allows troubles to get your attention. To get your attention. See, there was a period of time right before I went back to Chicago where I kind of went in a lull and I wasn't reaching out to my family the way I normally would. And for about 6 months, 7, 8 months, I wasn't doing it. And then I get to Chicago and I don't get a chance to do it. Some of you are waiting. You're waiting. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to share my faith with them. I'm going to pray with them. I'm going to call them up, ask them to forgive me, tell them I forgive them. Be careful that tomorrow doesn't come. Let us take opportunity today to trust God in all things. He goes on to say here, lean not on your understanding, but he says, God is able to do more than what you ask or imagine. How big or small is your God? By what you ask, I can tell you. How big or small, man, when I was dreaming about playing in the NBA, I could imagine what that was like. I could imagine that myself, And it was there. Now, it wasn't something that filled the hole in me, but it was an awesome experience. Amen. But wanting to be a preacher that got God's message all over the world to everyone, that I wanted to do, but I couldn't imagine way back when I was young that it would actually be happening like it is right now. In my mind, I'm going to be a preacher of a nice church, maybe even gets real big in my city. But to be able to preach the word all over the world. I've been to 52 countries now. I probably half the countries I go through, the people can't even understand me speaking because they don't speak English. And I have an interpreter up there. And Mickey, you tell me, it's hard working with the interpreter guy. Like, come on, speed up, man. That ain't what I said, all right? If you get a little hard line, they're like, I don't know if I should say that to the people. I'm like, dude, say it. Say it. But God was able to do way more than I was asking or imagined. I mean, just to be able to do this, for us to be ready to plant the church in Bahrain, already making the plans for Qatar and Lebanon for next year, seeing a definite plan into 2030 and having all the churches planted, including the Irans and the Iraqs and the Yemens and so forth. Seeing a plan, seeing a vision for that, seeing me and G have just fallen in love with the New York metropolitan area. We're like, okay, we're we're going to get them Bronx. We're going to get Brooklyn, Long Island. What's the other ones? Come on, help me out. Staten Island, Westchester, Queens, all over the place. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm asking God, I remember when the New York church was like almost 5,000. Can we have that? Man, God is able to do way more than that. This year's, I got to imagine more. I got to trust him for more. You got to trust him for more. You got to believe our God is bigger than this city. It is stronger than this city. It is more light than the darkness that is in this city. You got to believe it. We got to imagine big. You got to imagine your friends, your colleagues, your family becoming disciples, serving. You got to imagine yourself leading someone to Christ, leading a Bible study, leading a Bible talk. You got to see yourself making a difference, having an impact, because God has given you his power. Point 4, the power is his, not yours. Stop going on your own strength. I can tell when I'm going on my own strength and not the power of God. Well, here's how I know. I get tired, right? I mean, physically, but then mentally and emotionally, I get fatigued. I'm like, you know, you wake up in that morning, you go, I gotta go deal with this stuff today. Y'all know what I'm talking, right? You know, when you're dealing on your own strength, you know, you get doubts and your faith wanes because sometimes we look at a situation and it is bigger than you. But you're gonna try to handle it on your own. Anybody ever got in a fight or a situation that you knew in your mind you alone could not do it? Y'all know what I'm talking about. But we go at it the same old way every time. We go at it the same old way every time. We're hoping that something different will happen this time. It doesn't. The same thing happens. Then we start getting mad at God. You ain't able. And then we hitting all this stuff. So I'm going to do more on my own. And I'm just going to keep on this cycle goes until you go what? Insane. Any insane people in here today? Probably a quarter of the room need to go. And you know if you're going on your strength. Are you fired up? Are you fired up? Do you believe? Do you believe fully in God? Do you believe fully in His church? Do you believe fully in His family? If you're your brother and sister to your left or right, do you believe in them? These are disciples of Jesus. Are they your family that you believe in? Well, if you don't, you're relying on your own strength. You are tired. You are tired. Mark 10:27 said, Jesus looked at them and said, with man, this is impossible, but not with God. All things are possible with God. All things. You can overcome your sin. Ooh, we got quiet in here. Ooh, did y'all see that? It was like noisy and chattering, and I said, you can overcome your sin. And went, yeah, but you can. You can. You can make a decision today, it's done. Y'all didn't hear me. Y'all go, yeah. You don't know how entrenched I've been. You know, I've been stuck here for a while. You don't know. No, it is not that easy. It's not that easy for you. But with God, all things are possible. All things are possible. The issue is you're going on yours and not His. Now here's the challenge. You're going on His power. Number 5 is, and you have that power. How many of you believe you got the power of God residing right inside of you? That you have the power of God. It's living, working, and it's active in you right now. The only thing else that can be happening is you're ignoring it. And you got to acknowledge that Christ lives in you. Yeah, it's one of those things to believe. Baptize them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and you receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. It's the power of God. It's the same power that raised Jesus from the dead. Ephesians 1:19-20 says, and in his comparably great power for us who believe. That power is the same as the mighty strength He exerted when He raised Christ from the dead and seated Him at His right hand in the heavenly realms. You have the power to change. You have the power to even be more.
Check it out.
Siri be getting me, boy. Siri, you have no power. Shut up. I just knew it was going to say something back at me. Syria go, that's rude. But you have the power. You have the power. Now, the power is activated by the motivation. The motivation is to the glory of God. Whatever you're doing. See, I want to be the best at what I am and what I do to the glory of God. See, whatever resources I have, I want them to be used to the glory of God. This whole thing is about God. Somehow other issues of life start creeping up on the priority of God. And the next thing you know, God starts out like this and things are like this and then things start, and now there's a balance of stuff that I love God, but I love this. There should never be a balance. There should always be an imbalance. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. There should never be a balance. People say you got to live a balanced Christian life. What is that? What is that? Are you saying I got to walk my Christian way and my worldly way kind of, I just walk my worldly way a little less worldly, but somehow I got to keep doing that stuff because, it's important to me. It's a treasure that I found and, and I got to buy some of this one over here and you crazy. I don't know if you heard of FTX. Any of you do stock markets? Anybody mess around with Bitcoin, stock market? Everybody? This young guy, 30 years old, and he founded FTX, an exchange, of Bitcoin, like Wall Street down there, Only it's not backed up by any securities, insurance. It's not backed up by anything. So basically, you dealing in what you hope will be valuable. But there's no guarantee on it. If it falls, you lose everything. This young man yesterday was worth $437 billion. Today, less than $1 million. He invested in the wrong thing. He invested in the wrong thing. He don't have no balance. That's what the world is like. You can invest in it if you want to. And the next thing you know, it's worth nothing. Worth nothing. See, what we do, guys, is to the glory of God. This is not about our glory. This is about our love. This is about our trust of a God who we know is able, who has proven his character and who he is and how much he loves us. This is about our trust in him, our faith that is action, not some just shallow emotion, but a real faith that says, I'm going to do right. I'm going to be right for my God. I'm going to share his message. I am going to help save this world. I'm going to love my brother and my sister unconditionally. I'm going to love them. I'm never going to judge them, but I'm going to love them. That this family of God is where everyone should be. And I'm going to give enough love that they will. I'm not going to put false promises on God. I'm going to trust him for what he said, not for what I'm wanting him to say. I trust God that he will enact his will, and his will is good enough for me. I imagine God doing great things in my life, healing relationships, giving me victory over sin, planting more churches. Next year we have another 28 churches. Some will go, man, again, I know that's going to mean some more missions next year. Others go, yes, 28 more churches, let me give. I know I have the power. I'm not the man I was a few years ago even. And I won't be the same next year. It's going to get better because I have his power. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead working in me. And my motive is right. it's to God's glory. Are you in this for God's glory? Are you in this for God's glory? Are you in this for God's glory? Then he is able to do immeasurably more than all you ask or imagine. Now go and imagine more. Go and ask him more. Go and use the full extent of his power. Go and make a difference in this world. And to God be the glory. Amen.